Hey everybody, welcome back to a good old-fashioned Blu-ray update video. It's been a long time since I made one of these, but I still collect Blu-rays like an addict. A lot of what I've been doing lately is upgrading Blu-rays to 4Ks, or like if there's a special edition of something that comes out, I'll upgrade to that. I've been sneaking into other boutique Blu-ray companies. There are a few companies that I didn't really delve into for different reasons. Region coding, not truly understanding what their selection was like. Obviously, it's been a long time since I've put out an update video, so there's plenty of things to choose from, but a lot of these things are recent or cool things I want to show off I've gotten. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right off the bat, I want to show you something really cool. We've got these blaxploitation classic collections from Shout. Shout's been doing fantastic work lately. There are some things we're going to be looking at a little later. A genre of film I haven't really delved too deep into, blaxploitation. So these have been a very good jumping off point for me. About 4 deep into the first one, across 110th Street, Black Caesar, Hell up in Harlem, and Coffee, and I'm having a good time. Super stylized, super fun, crime, blaxploitation. It's good stuff. We've finally gotten access to Hong Kong films, something that a lot of us have been waiting for a long time. Films that just were not accessible to us have finally become so through Shout. I think even Arrow are doing some. A lot of different companies are putting out 4K upgrades of these films, and a lot of them have been on sale lately. Starting out with John Woo's Bullet in the Head. I mean, the cover is just immaculate. We've got Tony Leung, Jackie Chung. Yeah, ready to pop this one in. I have seen a few of the Hong Kong classics, and I very much enjoy them, so I'm excited to put this one in. Another one we have here is City on Fire with Chow Yun-fat. Chow Yun-fat is a name growing up I had heard about. Obviously, he was big enough that I had heard about him as a child, but after watching some of his films, I get it now. He's great. An Autumn's Tale, Hard Boiled, so I'm excited to pop this one in. I've heard it inspired heavily Reservoir Dogs, which, I mean, I'm not a huge Reservoir Dogs fan. I'm excited to check out the better version. Here we have Prison on Fire 1 and 2. All these are 4K upgrades and they just look incredible. Now, unfortunately, I have to say that I have not watched a lot of these yet, but I've just been building up a backlog of these films, and eventually, probably after my blaxploitation phase, I'll throw all these in. Some more John Woo, A Better Tomorrow trilogy. Now, a couple finally that I have seen that helped jumpstart this whole interest in these Hong Kong films and buying them. The Killer and Hard Boiled. I mean, these are probably the big ones, the ones that a lot of people have been waiting for. They're in these hardback, beautiful cases, cleaned up in 4K. Films hard to find for a long time. We finally have at our fingertips and can finally enjoy. And it's just so exciting. We're living in a good time, I think. I have to say, I have to comment on this real quick. I think we are living in a really good time for physical media. There's a lot of negative aspects about it. There's a lot of uncertainty about the future. But I think we're living in a time where we're getting a lot of things that we never would have gotten. We have more and more boutique companies popping up, upgrading films, putting together these definitive editions that we can finally get our hands on with special features, upgraded visuals, upgraded audio. It's very exciting. Somebody whose films I've really wanted to get into lately are Frederick Wiseman. He kind of reminds me of what I know of Alan King. Just, you go somewhere, you just document what you're seeing, you let the visuals tell the story, you let the subjects tell the story. So, I'm crazy, I bought this and just like a few days later he passed away. One thing about Alan King films that kind of reminds me of this is that you're just seeing everyday things in action. Like, for example, some of the films on here, high school, hospital, juvenile court, welfare. I mean, they're pretty cut and dry what they're going to be about. It's a matter of the subject material. Documentaries are in a really weird place right now. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of, it's become saturated with just junk. Everything needs to be made about somebody or something. While we have films like these that tell stories about people, about the little people that you may not think about. And I just think it's interesting work, and it's a stunning collection from BFI, and something I probably wouldn't have been able to get had I not gotten a region-free Blu-ray player, because it is region B, and now my world is opened up. Okay, we have a Curzon film here, Central Station. This has sat on my watch list on Letterboxd forever. It's one of the highest rated films on there, so I've always wanted to check it out, and Curzon announced a while back they were doing a 4K release of it. I had to pick it up, and you know what? Incredible film. It tells the story of a former teacher who writes letters for illiterate people in a Brazil train station. She comes across this boy out of circumstance, and it's just like a relationship building film. It's beautiful. It stars Fernanda Montenegro, and she's absolutely electric in this. The 4K is so nice to look at, and it was just really exciting being able to put this in after years of wondering what it was and wondering how good it possibly could be. I mean, the Letterboxd graph for it is insane, like unlike anything I've ever seen. So it lived up to the hype, and it makes me really excited to check out Walter Salas's other film starring her daughter, I'm Still Here. Another company I've delved into is Eureka. They put out 2 films by Kiyoshi Kurosawa.
I forgot. My favorite movie is The Nice Guys.
Cloud is getting a release from Criterion through their, I can't even remember what they call it anymore. It used to be Janus Contemporaries. I'd never seen Charisma, so I was really excited to pick this up specifically. It is a Region B release, and I'm just a huge fan of Kurosawa. Love Cure, Creepy, and Cloud is very good, so now I'm excited to check out Charisma. Okay, another company I've been really delving into, I'm very excited about, Radiance. Radiance kind of reminds me of the beginning of collecting Criterions. A lot of unknown films to me, but they put them on these great releases with supplements. They're cleaned up, and they're introducing me to films that I've just never seen or heard of before. And a lot of the times they're on sale for the same prices that Criterions always are. So to me, it's mirroring the beginning of Criterion, unleashing a new part of my collecting. The first one we have here, Illustrious Corpses. I actually learned about this one listening to Sean Fantasy talk about it. One of the few podcasts I really listen to, so I kind of trust his opinion on things, and it's about some judges that are getting murdered and the detective going in to try and find out what's going on. It's Italian and it seems interesting, and look at this. I was listening to an episode of their podcast where they talk about physical media, and one of the people on there brought up sympathy for the underdog, so I wanted to check that one out, and he sold it really well. I've watched this, and it's very good. Oozing with style. It's fast-paced, it's quick, it's exciting. It definitely inspired a lot of films. You can tell immediately. Yeah, it comes from Kinji Fukasaku, and it makes me want to check out some of his other films. And then we have Yokohama BJ Blues. This one was genuinely just off the cover. I think the cover looks really cool. It really exudes the 80s. So this was just like total blind buy. Okay, next up we've got some steelbooks. First up, one of the few Eastwood films I haven't seen, Pale Rider. I just thought this steelbook looks so clean and so nice. That bright orange, black, and red really looks good. And apparently the transfer is incredible, so I had to. Next up, 2 films that came out simultaneously with each other. All the President's Men. Oh, God, I really need to rewatch this. Really timeless, really mirroring modern day. And then Ben-Hur, just an incredible film. One of those super long movies I've watched several times just because of how good it is. And of course, I can only imagine how good this is gonna look on 4K. And then lastly here, we've got the Gladiator collection, Gladiator 1 and 2. Gladiator's not my favorite. I need to give it another try. Gladiator 2 I actually quite enjoyed. It could just be like recency bias. Another company that's doing great work is Kino. Love Kino. They seem to be spitting out releases like crazy. They always have interesting supplements and films that, I don't know, typically you wouldn't see released. They put out Mouse Hunt? Come on, I love you. But this one, 3 Days on the Condor. I have this release of 3 Days of the Condor and All the President's Men, so since I picked up All the President's Men, I figured I might as well pick up 3 Days of the Condor. Rip Robert Redford. Dante's Peak. This is a release that had a lot of trouble. They announced it before, they canceled it, they announced it, might have canceled it again, and then they finally put it out. This was just in a state of disarray, but I do really enjoy this film. It's a great disaster piece. Pierce Brosnan, love the guy. Linda Hamilton, she's always good. And I think it just has incredible action set pieces, and it's just fun, and it looks great. The Pink Panther. Now, the remake is stupid, but it makes me laugh. It's got that stupid screwball comedy aspect, which I expected from this. And it had it a little bit, but it was not what I was anticipating. Maybe that's my fault. Unfortunately, I didn't love this the way that I had hoped. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to give it another try. I don't know. It didn't hit for me initially. But you know what always hits for me? Babe. This is what I'm talking about. These are the films we need to get on 4K. One of my favorite films of all time. Rewatching this in 4K really solidified that. Plenty of supplements on here. You have a commentary from George Miller, a commentary from film historians and writers, interview with James Cromwell, interview with George Miller. It looks great. It's never looked better. I fucking love this movie. Now, I had never seen Babe, Pig in the City before picking this up. So it was the perfect time to pick it up and to watch it. And I didn't expect it to live up to the original. And it doesn't. This one's actually quite dark. The first one can be. This one is quite dark. I think there were issues between Chris Noonan, the director of the original, and George Miller, to where George Miller took this one over, and I don't know. It's still cute, it's still Babe, but it's also not. We do have an Arrow release here, A Simple Plan. Checked out Red Letter Media's rankings of Sam Raimi films, and they talked about this one. I didn't even realize this was a Sam Raimi film until watching that, and it's quite good. Bill Paxton, Billy Bob Thornton, Bridget Fonda. It's just like how I would imagine normal people trying to complete a crime. A simple plan, you could say. And it really does show that even when you have a simple plan, things might not go well. And then the rest of the things we have here are just kind of regular Blu-ray releases. We have Dirty Dancing 4K. I still had yet to upgrade that. Got it for an exceedingly cheap price. Collateral. I have a dinky little Blu-ray. I had been wanting to upgrade it. Finally did for a cheap price. Speaking of Fernanda Montenegro and Walter Salles, I'm still here. Been really wanting to check this out since it went through the award circuit a couple years ago. Was it a couple years ago at this point? Last year? God. The year before? Man. It kind of gives me the vibe I got from watching Secret Agent. So yeah, excited about that one. This was really cheap. I don't know, looked kind of cute. Cassie San and Morning Glories. Just like a short anime film. When the Wind Blows. Incredible animation, incredible story, depressing story, but glad to finally own it. I think I watched it on Tubi before. It just really upset me. So why not buy it and watch it again? This was a Vinegar Syndrome pickup. Fujijukai.move. I was getting visions of Blair Witch Project and Lake Mungo when I had heard about this, and it unfortunately was not what I was expecting. It gets a little silly after a while. I was really excited for it, and then it just kind of lost me after a while. Maybe I'll give it another try. The Sorrow and the Pity. This sounded incredibly intriguing to me. Account of France's occupation under the Nazi regime has been acclaimed as one of the most moving Director Marcel Ulfis interviewed the residents of Clermont-Ferrand who remembered the occupation, as well as government officials, writers, farmers, artists, and German veterans. Here in their own words is the story of how ordinary citizens and leaders alike behaved under military siege. I love this kind of shit. Blue moon, I saw you standing alone. Funny too, because the mice sing this in Babe. Blue Moon, incredible Ethan Hawke performance. I really enjoyed this film, so I figured I'd pick it up. And then lastly, one battle after another. Got this little dinky 4K release. It's cool, but there's not a single special feature on it. I think after I picked this up, they announced that they were putting out like a steelbook with a ton of special features, so that was quite annoying, but glad to own the film. Oscars are the weekend that I'm filming this, so by the time you see this video, we'll know if this is Best Picture or not. And that's that. Picked up a lot of things, a lot of exciting things. Very excited. Excitement is exciting. Excited to excited to delve into some more of those Hong Kong films, some more of the blaxploitation films, really start taking out this stack of movies that I haven't seen. But just happy to be expanding my horizons, going beyond. Let me know if you've been buying from some of these companies, Radiance, Kino. What have you been buying lately? Again, like I said, I think we're in a really good spot for physical media. There are some negatives. There are some bad things happening, especially with certain takeovers. But I have hope. It seems like the children yearn for physical media, so that's exciting. And I hope that us elders can pass along our knowledge and excitement to the younger generation, and we can just continue this. But anyway, that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.